Hey everyone, this is Shelby with Beyond the Color Project. Today I'm going to be talking about how I found Rook's breeder, the day I picked him up, and why I chose him to be my dog. The breeder I found was through other creative groomers that had purchased puppies from her. When I originally put a deposit with this breeder, I had just lost my Doberman, so all of my paperwork stated that I was going to be getting a white female standard puppy. And it wasn't until later that I realized that I probably shouldn't have another female dog. I do have a female dog now who I've adopted, and she's great, but I don't know about raising another female puppy, which is how I came about owning Rook and getting a male puppy. At the time, I was really just waiting for the breeder to get back to me on if she had the litter. And after a year and a half, I got the text message that the litter was born and there was only one white standard male born. So even though I knew I wanted a white male standard, he was kind of already picked for me. I really feel in my heart that my dog Capone sent him because it's kind of creepy now that he does some things that kind of shake me, and I'm like, ooh, Capone did that. That's really weird. And it's the littlest things, but I don't know if it's me making myself feel better in knowing, or maybe it's just a spirituality in me, but I truly think that he was meant for me, and that's why in that litter there was only one white male standard. Talia, who was my first employee, later on actually wound up being, she's on her way to be my sister-in-law. When she met my brother, they locked eyes and there was no stopping it. So her and I got puppies from the same litter. She got a white female and I got a white male. That night we had left for Pittsburgh where we needed to pick them up. We had left Long Island at about 11 o'clock at night. And luckily for me, I have a friend who lives in Philly, so we drove to Philly. And funny story, I know that in New Jersey, you don't pump your own gas because they have workers for the gas pumps. So I figured I wouldn't have to stop for gas because I can get gas in Jersey. We drove to 4 different gas stations. They were all closed and I almost ran out of gas that night. So we finally get to Philly around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, but we didn't actually go to sleep. We were just so excited we were getting puppies. So we lay in bed around 3 a.m. and probably get up around 5. Right before we leave, I wind up, Talia helps me doing a nail trim on my friend's pit. His name is Cash and he's a rescue, so he's a little finicky. But since we got to stop, he got a nail trim too. We jumped on the road. We get to the breeder's house and the breeder wasn't there. She had texted me and said that she actually got called into work that day, but her daughter was there and her daughter would take care of everything, go through the paperwork with us. If we have any questions, we can ask her daughter. And we pull up to the house and it was just really exciting. So we go inside. Her daughter was very knowledgeable, very helpful. The first thing we notice about the puppies, being that they're poodles, is that their feet and faces are already shaved, which is great because for poodles in particular, it starts them training on grooming at such a young age. So it really helps with training them later for grooming. They were the last 2 puppies left of the litter that hadn't been picked up yet because everyone had come to get their puppy the day before when they were able to leave. But the immediate thing I noticed was how much bigger he was compared to his sister. When we got there, I was all about business. I was talking to the breeder's daughter. I was doing paperwork, making sure that we had everything. She gave me all the information we needed, and Talia was on the floor playing with the puppies. Talia was immediately like, puppies! And she was excited in that way, whereas I was making sure I had everything done right. So we're at the breeder's house for all of 20 minutes. We put the puppies in the car. The funny thing is that Talia got a dog about a year ago, and she thought that this would be her best friend ever. His name is Sarge. He's an Australian Shepherd. He actually wound up attaching to my brother, her fiance, so Talia felt like she didn't have a dog. And the thing about Sarge is that now that Talia has moved to another state, she comes back and forth sometimes, and Sarge gets car sick. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because within the first 15 minutes of us driving down the road, her female puppy got car sick. And it was so funny. Like I'm laughing about it now, but I was like, no, Talia, it's okay. It's just a fluke. Talia's puppy has gotten car sick twice now.
Twice, not
Twice.
Once, twice.
Twice.
Giving her the benefit of the doubt though. We're in like Windy Road, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And
The mountains, windy road.
Don't know the last time she ate.
And I admit that I'm not the smoothest driver. I had never imagined myself as a poodle owner, and now I have two. I had adopted my dog Audrey just a few months after my Pomeranian Capone died. I jumped on Facebook. She was in a rehoming group, and I have her. So now I have Audrey, who's 3 years old, and I have Rook, who's just a puppy, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would own a poodle in general. The reason why I chose a poodle is not only because of the grooming salon atmosphere that my staff get to work on my dogs and they get to perfect their own craft, and they're going to have dogs who are used to being groomed and who are good for grooming, but I get to bring them to work every day, and that's something that I really missed out on, more specifically with my Doberman. My Pomeranian Capone came everywhere with me. He came to college with me. If he saw a purse or a bag, he was jumping in it because he knew he got to come everywhere with me. So I just knew that if I were to get a dog to come to the salon and come to work with me every day, that I really wanted to make it a dog breed that I could really provide a great life for. And I think that the standard poodle, being that they require so much grooming, it was just beneficial in so many ways, and it just really felt right. And then, of course, I get to do the creative grooming, which I just perceive as another outlet for me to get to spend time and bonding with my dog. For people that don't understand or know what creative grooming is, it's not only getting to carve things out in your dog's coat or shape their coat into different things, their hair into different things, but also, of course, the color aspect of it, which is really why I wanted to do this channel and get people to see the backstory in there's such harsh opinion against creative grooming, and I understand from an outside perspective why that might be, but I really wanted to include people not only on my journey of being a salon owner and now having a puppy and raising him and training him, and I hope people can benefit from that, but also having a different perception of the dogs that are used for creative grooming in the capacity of such large creative grooming, because when you see a dog that has its whole body colored or whole body have a creative groom on it, it's alarming, it's shocking. And I've seen people outside of the grooming atmosphere in the grooming world, I've seen their not only opinions, but their shock on their face when they see those creative grooms. And I just want to give a different perception. If you don't agree with it at the end of it, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I can't expect everyone to be nice about it or change their opinion. However, what I can do is just provide an outlet for someone, hopefully, to understand that it's no different from doing any groom on a dog. The difference about these dogs is, aside from being raised in a grooming atmosphere, they enjoy being groomed, and regardless of if it's putting color on a dog or cutting their hair to perfection like your show dogs, they just see it as bonding time and they really do enjoy it. The first thing I've learned about him, which is very obvious, is how large he is going to be. His parents were only 45 and I'm sorry, his parents were 55 and 60 pounds. So Lady, who is the female puppy that Talia got, is projected to be that weight. It was extremely obvious in the beginning how big Rook was compared to his sister. And now knowing that Rook is projected to be 90 pounds, I'm terrified. But at the same time, him being that large is what's considered a royal standard. Some people call it a royal standard, or he's just an extra large standard. I don't know if that was the reason necessarily why the breeder wanted to keep him, but he's going to be a big boy. And for that reason, I'd be more strict per se with training, or I really need to be on top of training in the beginning, because the goals I set now and the everything I do now is going to be beneficial when he's 90 pounds. My general goals for the next 12 months is really to raise a puppy in knowing his environment, to be confident, to be sociable, to be outgoing, to which it is also acceptable in public. He needs to, because of how big he's going to be, I have to be on top of training. And I just really want to give him the best life. And to do that, I need to give him the best of me in training. through training him, the basics are walking good on a leash, sitting, and in the grooming salon, he's going to know how to jump on a table, jump off a table, and he's going to see other dogs being groomed. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but they really do have their own personality. And he's going to want to get groomed too because he's going to be spending time with me in doing so, which later then will open us up to doing the creative grooming. I'm really grateful so far with the memories that I've made with Rook, and I'm really excited to get to share his journey and my journey together and raising him to be the dog that he's going to be.
So at the end of every video, I'm going to do a weekly weigh-in with Rook. I want people to be a part of his progression, and I also want to see how big he's going to get. So each week I'm going to do a weigh-in, and this is going to be our first one. Come here. Come here. Eventually, we'll teach him to get on the scale by himself. So he is 19.4 pounds. Oh boy. He's going to be a big boy.